Yes people, what is good? I am BA, back once again with another reaction in the Black Mirror series. We have already reached season 4, these are quick short series packed with genius little episodes, but yeah, we're already at season 4. This is the first episode, it is called USS Callister. I've never seen anything about this before, but I'm looking forward to it. So without further ado, this is episode 1, season 4 of Black Mirror, USS Callister. Let's check it out and see what it's saying to it. I was assuming by the title USS Callister it was going to be about a ship, but maybe it's some Star Trek sort of thing.
Right in front of us.
Valdak.
No way, it's Todd from Breaking Bad and Ed from Fargo, which I'm currently reacting to.
Prime rear thrusters.
Rear thrusters prime.
If that's Valdak, he'll rip us to shreds. Captain, we have to surrender.
Looks like a bit of a badass ship, they better be careful.
Heavy damage reported deck 6 through 10.
Fires in Med Center and major rupture of Chicago Bay Alpha.
We've got no choice, Captain.
This is an interesting start to the episode, obviously very reminiscent of the OG Star Trek series with William Shatner.
We can use them to increase our photon intensity. Packer increased thrusters.
I really like this actor, I don't actually know his real name, but everything I've seen him in so far, he's been awesome in.
Alaska charged photon bolts.
Bolts charged, Captain.
They're all doing a good job to camp it up like it is an actual television show as well, so something isn't quite right. This doesn't seem like reality to me we're watching right now.
On screen.
Captain Daly, may you drown in the venom of 900 Tugorian snakes.
Guy's cutting a 1980s pro wrestling promo.
That showed you mercy. Reflect on that while you can. Close comms.
Maybe screaming is just how that guy reflects, don't judge him. Oh shit, he just blew him to absolute smithereens.
I should know by now, never to doubt you. Please, forgive me.
At ease, Walton.
This has got a really uncanny valley vibe to it.
We'll let him go. For now.
Even the fact he let the villain go at the end, that's typical of a serial where every week, you know, you're doing battle with the same villain. And they're spoofing the first on-screen interracial kiss there by adding an alien one. Much appreciated. Blue chicks need love too.
Welcome to Callister.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
I'm sure we're gonna find out, but what a strange intro. I think that screen in the background's giving us some clues. Oh, it's that technology again. I love how Black Mirror reincorporates previous ideas but shows that there's multiple ways that same technology could be getting used. This is the same shit that we saw in the San Junipero episode, plus the eye technology which we see in almost every episode.
Oh, are you okay, man? You didn't see my gym bag.
Well, maybe you shouldn't leave your gym bag out in the middle of the walkway, you fucking dick omelette. Certainly getting all the kids in class laughing at you sort of vibes for this guy.
The person who actually designed Infinity. The procedural algorithm is amazing.
Oh shit, so he's the designer of this thing.
Thank you.
That's actually the reason that I wanted to work here.
Can't blame her if she's into coding stuff like that and he's just made the most genius thing of all time.
Wow.
It's a TV show. Before your time. Before my time, actually.
It's a shame they couldn't get the actual Star Trek license.
When we set up the company, I suggested that we call it Callister as kind of a little tribute.
He's playing a guy who might be somewhere on the spectrum or incredibly socially awkward. Very well.
Customers all over our balls waiting for the Infinity update. Tell me it's going to be up and running before the weekend.
Oh, I'll ask.
That boss is clearly the moment where the passion for the games and shit ends and the industry and business side of it starts.
I'm Nanette Cole.
Which department?
Engine architecture.
It's your first day.
Get your ass off his table ornament.
It was so nice to meet you.
office.
She seems cool, and you know, in a perfect world, they would get along, maybe even start a relationship, but this is Black Mirror. Do you think I'm investing into her being nice for a second? No, something horrific is going to happen by the end of this episode, and I'm ready for it. I know that miserable motherfucker Charlie Brooker by now. I'm ready. I wonder what's on his mind. He seems incredibly introspective. There's a lot of shit going on he's not saying. Of course he's got a little space fleet shrine. Of course he's got a extended full apartment space fleet shrine. Yo, that chocolate milk in a carton like that is fucking nice. Have you ever had the cold mocha you can get? So it's like cold coffee and cold chocolate milk in a carton. It's really nice. Highly recommended by BA. Go get some. Right, so he's testing the new update himself. This would actually be dangerous in a technology that's fully integrated with the mind, because what if there's bugs and glitches and things?
So your answer is no.
I'm afraid so, sir.
Calm the fuck down, mate. William Shatner didn't roll like this when the cameras were rolling to men that were white. That's so slanderous. I know none of that to be true. It was just for humour purposes, and I take it all back.
I'm not asking, I'm telling you. Understand?
Yes.
Star Trek would have been a way rougher show if the captain had carried himself like this. We'd have still have all watched. We'd have still have been cutting edge sci-fi, just like, wow, that captain is a fucking douche. Lucky the monster costumes look cool, because I can't stand that captain.
Vanilla latte. Skim milk.
At once.
But I guess this is just him living out a power fantasy, because in real life he's very head down looking at the floor. Everyone talks to him like shit even though he's a genius. So he just goes into his little Starfleet simulation and treats his peers as subhumans. That's how he unwinds.
We don't patch until Christmas Eve.
Well, yeah, I mean, with the alterations you approved.
He was half paying attention when the guy suggested those ideas, but he literally put the timescale back way further than the boss wanted, I know that.
Coffee, do you want one?
Sure.
Okay.
He has instantly fallen in love with you. He'll take a cup of piss, just come back and talk to him.
It is not like my last job.
Thank God.
No? It was a toxic workplace.
I think if you've had 10 jobs, you've had at least one toxic workplace. It's a shame. Like, I'm such a passive person, but also a very defensive one when people are talking shit. So, yeah, I don't deal well in a toxic workplace, because I'll just tell the entire workplace to go fuck themselves, then leave, you know. But I have had a few, and it's always a shame, because there's no better feeling than getting along with your co-workers. You can get through the worst job if your co-workers are cool, though.
Do you have a thing for him?
Daily? No. No, it's not like that.
Some people, I forget the name of it, but some women are attracted to intelligence, so maybe she's just one of them women, and it wouldn't be outside the realms of possibility that she had a thing for the guy just because of his genius level in the field she is a part of. But yeah, there's elements of like a high school romance written story to these two. The way the co-workers were sort of laughing at him as he was walking around like he was the unpopular kid. And then when she was asked if she had a thing for him, that was like the popular girl in school asking the other popular girl if she liked the nerdy kid and she had to deny it kind of thing. What the fuck is he doing? Is he sampling her DNA so he can put her into his game? This makes him like the ultimate creep if that is what he's doing. And has he been doing it with more than one person? It's so fucking creepy if that's what he's actually doing.
God damn it, Robert!
Christmas Eve, really? Not okay.
I thought the boss was going to react like that. It was his own fault for getting distracted. He was just looking at that woman and it caused him to just agree with whatever his developer was saying to him. I knew this story was going to turn dark. Of course it was going to turn dark. Of course this guy just couldn't, you know, be the underdog and come up and, you know, become socially non-awkward and learn to dance at parties and shit. Of course he was a secret human copier. Nice choice on the 60s haircut though. Gotta love a good sci-fi corridor. And it might at first glance to her look incredible, you know, she's in the middle of space flying on a amazing spaceship, but this is a duplicate that is now trapped in a digital program, much like the White Christmas episode kinda. And he can do what he wants with her. This is his personal copy of her.
Let me fix you a drink. We have everything from Hungarian phlegm shots to, distilled root blood.
Oh my god, I've just realised these are the people at his workplace, like that's his boss, and the woman who looks down on him.
Exploring the furthest reaches of the known universe and beyond. We are its loyal space crew, and now apparently, so are you.
This is almost like some serial killer shit. Do you know what I mean? He's making secret copies of people and then keeping them in his own little private program.
Yuri's Captain Daly, our fearless leader.
Yeah, you're seriously gonna need to sit the fuck down.
The original Ahura would have never have told someone to sit the fuck down. Maybe she should have done. That would have been more progressive than an interracial kiss.
What year is it?
Wait, don't do a head in.
What year? I saw you today.
This is creepy as fuck. I know I've said that about a billion times, but this is creepy as fuck.
Daly's got his own modded version of Infinity reskinned to look like his favourite TV show.
Space thing?
It's a good mod.
He keeps it offline so the custom code he's written can't be detected and deleted.
It's a bubble universe ruled by an asshole god.
Seriously, that basically makes his character a fucking serial killer kidnapper type. I don't give a fuck if he's technically making a digital copy from DNA swabs.
You can't leave.
What?
None of us can.
And no wonder he's so to himself and lets people talk to him how they like throughout the day, because he knows if his boss is a dick to him in the day, he's gonna go home that night and beat the shit out of him in his little Starfleet game.
He got mine from the rim of a smoothie cup. He retrieved Packers juices from the bathroom.
Man, you have got to let that go. She does not need details.
Bet there's a story behind that.
Insufficient smiling.
I brought him the wrong sandwich.
Oh my god! You can't digitally enslave someone for eternity for fucking bringing you the wrong sandwich.
No, for fuck's sake, I'm trying to break her in gently.
The quicker she gets, the easier it'll be.
What's even creepier is, they've all conformed to his fantasy that he's this Starfleet captain, showing that over time they've developed not a Stockholm syndrome, but just, I guess he's been cruel to them if they haven't played along kind of thing, until they all conformed. Running is going to do you no good, but I appreciate you getting to show us the sci-fi corridors again. What is happening to her now? Oh, she's just been warped back in.
I'm not doing this.
The whole thing's much better if you let yourself get into it.
I was gonna say, I wonder what he would do if someone spoke to him outside of the fantasy, but it shows that he's just going along with it as well.
Go fuck yourself.
Okay.
Yeah, now we get to see what happens to the people that didn't want to play along straight away. Oh my god, that's so creepy. That's like that scene in the interrogation room in The Matrix with Agent Smith and Neo.
Do you submit?
And it's also like water torture because he's suffocating her.
I can keep you like this forever if I feel like it. Forever gasping for a breath with a mouth that isn't there.
This guy is an absolute psychopath. What a fucking monster of a human being. This is raising such an interesting point. When our technology becomes so sophisticated, we can make perfect digital replications of humans through scanning their DNA. What are the rights of that digital duplicated person? Because this shit seems like it should be illegal all over the world, even though technically he's just fucking with them in a program and it's not actually them, it's their perfect digital copies. But a perfect copy is no less human than a human, by the definition of the phrase perfect copy. And you know, there's also another subtler layer to his incredibly fucked up mind, in that of all the things he chose within this digital place he could hold people in, he wanted them to also play along with like a charade of a fake world just to go along with his ultimate power fantasy in every level. And as horrible as some of these people are to him, in real life, he is way worse to them in this.
Not advisable. My plasma grenade will turn you into screaming soup.
And I wonder who the villain was in his life.
Jesus.
She is not impressed with his performance. I liked his 1980s pro wrestling style.
This launcher's heavy as shit. How you holding up?
You know, we're existing.
It's like a fucking tea break between LARPers.
She was in marketing.
Yeah, Daly turned her into that because she wouldn't play along when he cloned her into here.
Even the monster's a person, oh my god. Chilean must have been horrible to him to be having to play a space monster.
If we die, the secret of the...
Even she's getting into it, struck a little 1960s kung fu pose there.
Over there! A naked lady! Really?
Damn, Valdak easily thwarted by the potential of Poon.
We've fought many battles, haven't we, Captain?
We have.
The vagina was a lie, wasn't it, Captain?
Cold blood is against Space Fleet code. Sorry, bud.
That's almost even worse. That poor guy at this point wants to die and he keeps not killing him to fight him again in another story. You know what? This episode's just another incredible one plot-wise. I don't know how this was received. Personally, this is really working for me. I think this is amazing. What a fucked up little story within such a weird fantasy whimsical setting. Very reminiscent of what the tone of like WandaVision was trying to capture, but not as well.
Exit game.
Oh, fucking hell.
This was tense.
What's even weirder is, when we first saw him in this, I assumed that these guys were just programmed to be this way, and he was the one, you know, playing along with all the programs within it. But it's even creepier that as soon as he leaves, they can all take a deep breath and like get out of character. It's actually almost identical to the tone of a segment in the Twilight Zone movie. If you've never seen the Twilight Zone movie, it's incredible, and one of the stories about a psychic kid is very similar to this.
Grinding our mounds together out of sheer boredom.
We are gonna get this bastard.
I'd like to think all women are that protective of their vaginas. You know, you should be. You guys should be.
He's a coder. He is fallible.
I've just realised that her field is his field. She's also a coder. So if there is some sort of glitch that hasn't been found or anything like that, she might be the one that's able to find it.
You won't hack it. I've tried.
I haven't.
Yeah, I imagine she's fairly competent if that guy was like her big inspiration and he's a genius enough to have created a game that which basically simulates reality.
Part of Infinity's front end. You can invite a friend with a custom message.
A message to outside?
Just one. 140 characters maximum.
Shout outs to old school Twitter.
Welcome to Callister.
This is gonna be so weird. Her digital self is gonna be trying to contact her real self, isn't it? This episode is amazing. I'm loving every twist and turn in this episode. It's so clever.
Mr. Daly? Hi.
Hi.
Don't fucking tell him.
It had a message attached. Something about people trapped in a game.
Oh, you're a fucking idiot. Why would you mention it straight to him?
Didn't open the link, did you?
Oh God, no.
Maybe just upgrade your security software.
All right.
That is the worst thing she could have possibly done. He could go home and erase them all or do whatever he wants now. I guess erasing them all is better than what he's doing, to be fair. Or he could also go home and punish the digital version of that woman because she sent the message. And you can blame your real life version for that. So you might be quite tactile and thinking ahead inside this program, but out in the real world you're kissing this fucking guy's ass and giving him all the information he needs.
You assholes are fucking it up!
I did it!
Yeah, how dare you try and acquire free will and ruin his little Star Trek game.
Just let her off this once. Please.
This is seriously turned into a horror film so quickly. Oh my god. Just turned her into another one of those monsters, so I'm assuming she's getting sent out into one of these desert planets to just live like that. Potentially never to interact with another human being again, just left on a planet, and maybe one day he'll get bored and decide to have a little adventure on the planet she's on, at which point she's only used as a plot device they have to foil. This is layers upon absolute layers of fucking twisted. Of all the brutalities and punishments dished out throughout Black Mirror thus far, this is surely top 2 worst. You know, White Bear's pretty rough as a punishment, White Christmas is pretty rough as a punishment. This has got to be right up there though. Let me know your top 3 brutal human punishments in the Black Mirror series that we've seen so far below. Is that normal? That looks like it could be a glitch.
That is the Christmas update patch pre-installing itself. The wormhole. It's just how the game is expressing the uplink.
Oh, no way. So the patch shows itself in world as like a wormhole. That's interesting that even the patch being implemented is shown visually in the game.
Deleted.
Deleted as in?
As in die. Whether it's dying would depend largely on your philosophical position regarding sentient code.
Yeah, at this point, ending their digital selves is better than what he's putting them through.
Pilot the damn thing without Daly here and he'd stop us like that.
What about if he's logged in?
What's fucked is, if they do that and delete themselves and hit the firewall, no one will ever find out what he's been doing, and he could just start again.
My photo cloud account. There's some pretty interesting images on there.
So she's gonna blackmail herself with her own nudes.
Blinding a certain death in a wormhole beats another 10,000 years with Captain Ash.
It's a huge deal to me whether or not she manages to make contact with her real life self again though, because then her real life self will be actually able to stop the real life guy. If that doesn't happen, it's great that these guys have escaped and deleted themselves, but that monster of a human being is still there with his little plan, and he would just start again and make new copies of them. He's probably got backup copies of them.
We are gone. We are rid of his shit.
Sounds peachy.
That's a fucking understatement. I bet the girl that got turned into the lobster monster and left on a planet's having a fucking better time right now than these guys. At least if you get turned into a planet monster, you don't have to put up with his daily shit. Maybe once every 1,000 years he'll use you for an episodical adventure, but aside from that, you just get to chill in a cave.
Brought Tommy to work one day. He would have loved seeing all those computers. He's really into that stuff.
He copied the guy's fucking son. What a horrible, horrible cunt.
He copied him. In here. It was Tommy, alright.
Wow, this guy's got to be the biggest piece of shit we've seen in this entire show so far.
He took Tommy and he threw him out of the airlock.
What the fuck? Seriously, this guy is fucking Ted Bundy, you know, all the worst serial killers we know about. This guy is right up there doing this shit to these people. I'll give a fuck if it's a digital copy or not. If it's a perfect digital copy, it's no different than doing it to the real person. That's one of the fucking darkest things we've ever seen on this show. Imagine doing that to a father right in front of his face. And you know, that was a perfect copy of the son, so that son genuinely felt that death for real. It was the real perfect copy of the son dying.
He's got all of our DNA. He keeps it in his bedroom in a fucking mini fridge by his desk.
I fucking knew he'd have copies.
He can bring us back. He can bring Tommy back whenever he wants.
That is so imperative that the real life version of this woman actually looks at her fucking message, doesn't instantly communicate the information she's received with the perpetrator and do something about this fucking guy. He can't have that fridge just to make them again if they manage to get out of this thing.
You gotta believe me. Can you do that?
Damn, you know, just for its uniqueness, this maybe is creeping into my top, I don't know about maybe not top 3 quite yet, but top 5. This is an incredible concept to me. I want to check the Rotten Tomato scores of this episode after I react to this because I really hope it was widely well received. So it'll be interesting to read the Rotten Tomato reviews after I watch this.
I could use your close attention.
Why would she be flirting with him like that? She doesn't even have a vagina.
Atmosphere's good. Over there.
I'm interested to see what her plan is because I don't get how isolating him's going to help when he can just change things at will like a god.
It's kind of hot here, don't you think?
Oh, she's still got boobies. You better hope he's a tip man.
Come on, Robert. Oh, the water is great.
You have not convinced me that the water is in fact great.
I started drowning, and you had to come in and rescue me. Yeah?
Nice, that way you still get to play the hero and get some sex. Go on. I guess he could technically magic her vagina back for a few minutes.
You gonna take all day?
Okay. Coming in.
Oh, okay. Oh, fuck, they've teleported it. What a move.
Can access her PhotoCloud account.
You actually remember that password?
I was genuinely expecting no good to come from this episode, but ideally these guys get out, delete themselves and keep a digital version of him trapped forever maybe, and the real life guy gets caught.
I will. I just have to finish the...
whatever. Merry Christmas, Lisa.
Yeah.
I kind of like that woman in real life. She's not too much like, you know how I was comparing her to like the high school popular girl who's usually a horrible person. She's not that bad. And she was right to question her friendship with the creepy creator guy, who we now know is an absolute psycho. Are they actually managing to call her from inside the game?
Do exactly as instructed, or your entire gallery will be shared with your friends and your family.
I kind of feel bad for the digital version of this woman who's currently having to have sex with that horrible guy in a river to distract him from all of this.
We're just swimming. It's nice, right?
Nice, she's keeping the foreplay going for a long time. This isn't even first base. This is like Reiki first base.
That's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's probably the first time he's took any sort of disrespectful action in his own program. He's having a second to process whether or not it's flirting or disrespect. I wasn't expecting them to give him it back. I thought that thing controlled everything within that program. I thought they were going to do a lot more shit with it.
This is fucking crazy.
This isn't her at the company building anymore, is it? This is her at his actual apartment where the samples in the fridge are stored. I still feel like it's more important for this guy to get apprehended by the police though, because even if those samples get destroyed, those people are still around in the workplace. He can just make new copies of them by collecting new samples.
Donnie, pick me up.
You got it. Stand by.
Well, I hope this pizza guy is slow as shit because I don't know if answering the door for a pizza is a large enough time frame for her to go in and get what she needs to get. Hurry the fuck up, please.
You're supposed to say something like engage or increase thrust.
Just fucking go.
That's interesting, they chose to use the unused catchphrase from the original Star Trek.
What's happening? The door is closing. Hello?
Hello?
That's actually a cool technology where someone on the outside of your door gets projected on a full screen tablet on the inside.
Nice. Merry Christmas, asshole!
Didn't even tip him. Not only is he a psycho, he's a rich prick.
Resume game.
Oh, here's hoping they get out in time.
Resume game.
Yes, they must have deleted it.
Daly works out what's happening, and he will find us, and he will fuck us over.
Ah, it's because he can't find the location he was last at on the map, I'm guessing.
Resume game.
Lieutenant Cole, we should head for...
It's gonna take him 2 minutes just to put his clothes back on at least.
The wormhole. It's decreasing in size.
I'm praying for these guys to get out in time. I don't want to see him torture these people forever.
On course for where?
The wormhole.
What wormhole?
The update vortex.
Fucking onboard computer snitch. These are the classic Star Trek shots whenever they go through an asteroid field. It's got to be one of the top 5 tropes of all time in sci-fi, having to navigate through an asteroid field.
Whatever it is you think you're going to do won't work, but it is going to cost you.
Let's go faster!
Already at maximum.
Please tell me they can outrun him. It's a very big galaxy. Hopefully they weren't too close to his planet, and hopefully his ship doesn't travel that fast.
Shield's 58%.
It's so funny that the finale of this episode is basically an old school Star Trek episode.
What I'm going to do to you is going to be goddamn fucking biblical!
Again, redoing old material by redoing William Shatner outtakes.
USS Callister has lost engine power.
Why does this guy always get cast as a fucking psycho? He's so lucky he got cast as a decent individual in Fargo. And he still kills people in that, but he's not a complete psychopath like he is in this in Breaking Bad. Anytime I see this guy pop up in something now, I'm going to assume he's got a body in his cupboard.
To last week when you patched me through to Daly? Patching through?
Going into the ventilation shafts of the spaceship, another classic sci-fi trope there.
And I was thinking, I should have appreciated you more.
I mean, that's cool, he's saying this to him, but it kind of means nothing because of what he's had to put him through to get this out of him. If this came from the real life version of this guy, I bet it would mean the world to him.
Fuck you to death.
Aye, sacrificed himself to get the power back online.
Faster!
Speed already at maximum.
I don't care, whatever, just catch him!
You should have designed that ship to be faster in your program before you entered it, you daft cunt.
I hope you're going to die.
It's nice to be optimistic about death. Yes, thank God. That is such a relief. The one thing, as I've been saying, is, what if he just resamples them all and starts again? I need to see this real life guy apprehended at the end of the episode, not collecting new samples with a sinister smile on his face. And knowing Charlie Brooker, it could go either way.
The mod's gone. Daily Space Fleet mod has been stripped away by the firewall.
Where have they ended up?
We're in the cloud. Where is Daly?
He's stuck there.
Oh yes, so he is stuck in his world by himself. No way. That's perfect. So I wonder what happens to the real life guy if he's stuck in a game. Does his brain just break? Because the real life version of him is in a chair just now, you know, with the white eyes and the thing stuck on his temple.
Got my body back. Got my whole body back. I'm guessing we all have.
Oh, that's an even better outcome than I was expecting though, because, you know, I was expecting them to just end their digital selves, but now they've merged with the cloud. They will be able to live infinitely in the actual cloud multiplayer server. So that's a happy ending, because the digital people get to live forever now.
Both universe detected.
In a monitored version of the game, well, this guy can't treat them like shit. Can someone wake him out of this trance just by pulling the thing off the side of his head? Kind of a good ending. I'm just hoping that that implies that that's him dead.
Hey there.
Oh man, are we glad to hear from...
Yeah, Merry Christmas. So we're gonna blow each other or we're gonna trade?
The members of the USS Callister are gonna have to get used to gamer chat.
Yes, Captain?
Stick us in hyperwarp and let's...
6.
Fuck off somewhere.
That's an incredible ending. And she gets to be the captain now, which is cool.
King of space.
I fucking loved this episode. Okay, and that was episode 1 of season 4 of Black Mirror USS Callister, and I will be back in just a minute with my thoughts on that. So, USS Callister, what did I think of that? Well, I don't know if you guys could tell from my reactions, but I absolutely loved this episode. It had a really quirky premise, which they slowly clued us in as to what was going on with. So the first couple of scenes, I was just like, this is interesting, but it's somewhat bizarre. I could tell it wasn't quite reality. As I was saying at the time, it had an uncanny valleyness to it, so I knew there was something else going on. But then as the layers were revealed, like I knew there was going to be some dark shit somewhere, you know, Charlie Brooker. I feel like I know Charlie as a man by now, and I know Charlie's bringing the darkness at some point, yeah. And again, he makes us the prick, because when we first meet this genius game developer, we sort of sympathise with him. His boss is breathing down his neck even though he's a genius, and people don't seem to respect him at the workplace. So, you know, we spend a good 5-10 minutes feeling sorry for the guy, and then it's revealed that the guy that we have cinematically been trained to sympathise with is an absolute monster. Another Black Mirror trope. And it's playing on a couple of concepts that have showed up in previous episodes, like the White Christmas episode and the San Junipero episode, combining sort of ideas from both and implementing a new idea on top of it. And I don't mind the fact that they keep incorporating little bits of the same technology throughout the series. I love it because it's actual universe building. You believe that this is a slightly near future where things like this do exist now. And yeah, just the idea of him subtly capturing the DNA samples of people at his work, then digitally making perfect replications of them to treat however he wants in a program forever essentially, is such a dark concept. Like I said, that is right up there with your Jeffrey Dahmers and your Ted Bundys as one of the most fucked up serial killerish fucking things I have ever heard of in my life. Disobey him and get turned into a sand monster and left on a planet by yourself for thousands of years until he decides to use you in one of his adventures. Oh man, conceptually just the premise in and of itself is just the most fucking twisted thing of all time. As I said, I just hope he died at the end when they thwarted him. We did see him stuck in the machine with the white eyes and the thing on his head. So what's next? Well, a man of that stature, he wouldn't show up to work. People at work would notice he hadn't showed up for work, even if he's disliked or whatever. He's one of the top heads of the company and the genius behind it all, so people at work would instantly notice him not appearing. So inevitably, either co-workers or even police, if the co-workers couldn't gain entry, would go to his apartment. They would enter. The police would find him with this thing on his head. This technology is known about, so there must either be a removal process for someone stuck in like a broken one or a glitched one or something like that, or perhaps it's just too dangerous and removing it fries the brain, so he's just stuck in it and fucked, and they're not known for malfunctioning in this way. It's just because of what they did. But worst case scenario, you know, they find him, he's not died of like water dehydration or starvation yet. They're able to remove it. He realises everything that's happened to him. Even though he was stuck there for a while, he returns to work. They're all still none the wiser. He begins again, collects all their DNA samples again, creates his little program again. This time makes sure that they never escape and punishes them 50 times worse because of what they did, especially to him. Call me a pessimist, but to me that seems like it could still potentially be the worst case scenario outcome from that episode. So I'm just hopeful that he either died in that machine before someone found him, or maybe when the program deleted it also deleted him, which deleted his brain in real life. Maybe something like that I wasn't thinking about. Or maybe when the police enter, they're trained in cyber policing in this near future and they realise he's been in an illegal version of the program doing something and catch him that way and he gets sent to jail. I'm hoping that's how it ended. Maybe someone in the comments knows something definitive, let me know, because I'd love to know if there's some sort of thing that I missed that implies definitively one way or another what happened to him exactly after the screen went black. And yeah, another really interesting future moral concept. If you can perfectly replicate someone What are the digital person's rights? They should have rights, because if they're a perfect replication, there is no longer any discernible feature between them and the real person. We're talking on every single level, to a subatomic particle level, they are a perfect duplication. Especially to the point where they can be put into a program you yourself can enter and feel things and do things to them and shit. They should definitely have rights. And it might not seem ahead of its time yet, but I swear, like 50 years from now and shit, people are gonna look back on Black Mirror and be like, wow. And I kinda know this for a fact, just because Charlie Brooker has been reading a lot of theoretical science when writing this show. I am a huge fan of theoretical science. It might sound quite unexpected or boring or geeky, but for hours and hours on YouTube I watch lectures by people like Neil deGrasse Tyson and Michio Kaku, and like they're the most commercial, you know, not necessarily most genius minds in the field, but they make science the most applicable to the general person such as myself, who isn't the best with science. But then from there I started watching other lectures, and my favourite field is theoretical, because it sounds like people are just taking shots in the dark, but it's not. They're looking at change and the way things naturally progress, what people are currently working on, and combine all that into a cauldron to try and see what's round the next corner, and many times they get it right. So it's definitely not just a field of people taking shots in the dark by any stretch of the imagination, and many of the technologies that we have seen throughout Black Mirror thus far are things which have been spoken about in the field of theoretical science within the last 15 years or so. So I know for a fact that Charlie Brooker is a fan of his theoretical science, and I feel like that's what makes many of these episodes so powerful to me, because lots of the technologies that we see are truly like less than 100 years away, if not 50, and that is a scary thought when seeing how they could be applicated within these Black Mirror episodes. Once again, I could talk about the concept of this episode for absolute hours, but obviously, as you can tell, it's just another one I absolutely loved. What an incredible start to season 4. I hope you've enjoyed this reaction. If you have, click like, subscribe to the channel to see more videos like this, ring the bell to be notified as to when they drop. If there's anything you want to talk about, comment down below, and share this around to anyone you think might appreciate it or want to watch these reactions along with us. My Patreon link is down in the description. If you become a patron, you get access to my blog, you get access to these reactions I put on YouTube a month and a half in advance, and you also get access to full-length versions of everything I react to. So consider becoming a patron. It helps me and my channel out so much, and until next time, I have been BA. Peace.